Dear friends, dear membership, first of all, it's an honor to have the opportunity to run once again for the position of IPC President. It's an honor because this movement is part of who I am. I have joined this movement 24 years ago, as most of you know, as an intern in the comms department of the Brazilian Paralympic Committee. It took me only a few weeks to understand at that time that I have found my place in this world, that this movement was something I wanted to be attached for the rest of my life. So it's an honor to serve the membership. It's an honor to serve the athletes. And it gives me great pleasure to put my name forward for you, the membership, to vote to decide if I deserve another term as IPC president. My vision is simple and clear. It's moving forward. In the last 4 years, we have been implementing changes in the IPC and in the International Paralympic movement. Some of them were not easy. Some of them were really hard and difficult to implement. But when I say we implement a change, I mean, of course, I'm leading it, but it's the board, it's the management team, the National Paralympic Committees, the international federations, the IOSDs, the regional organizations, the athletes, the volunteers, classifiers, officials, everyone who is part of this movement. And this is my role, to lead, to democratically set the vision for the organization and bring together the membership to deliver this change. And I believe I did it successfully in the last 4 years, but we are just starting. That's why my motto is moving forward. We want to keep on changing this movement for the better, for the benefit of the athletes, for the benefit of the membership. We made some interesting changes in the last few years. We changed the culture of this organization. Everyone working for the IPC, from the president to the board, to everyone in the management team, volunteers, needs to understand that the IPC exists to serve the membership and not the other way around. And when we serve the membership, we are serving the athletes through the membership. And that's why we exist. That's a fundamental change that we have implemented in the last 4 years. We are closer to the membership. We are working together with the membership, and we have changed these dynamics between the IPC and its own membership. We have implemented the governance review. The governance review was a very important exercise to really see if our governance structure was fit for purpose. That's why we are recommending a few changes to bring the membership closer to the decision-making processes, to bring the athletes closer to the decision-making processes, to make the IPC a more transparent organization, to make the IPC an organization that can serve better its own membership and the Paralympic athletes from all over the world. Over the last 4 years, we also have guaranteed the financial stability of the organization by signing this 14-year agreement with the International Olympic Committee, who is our main partner. And that was just fundamental so we could plan short, medium, and long term. We needed that financial stability. We needed to guarantee the one city, two games model, and this is what we did. We also have redefined the purpose of the organization. We have added what we are calling the third pillar, our initiatives in the area of human rights. 70 years ago, or more than 70 years ago, the founder of our movement, Sir Ludwig Guttmann, he started a movement and he had a dream that every disabled person in the world will become a taxpayer, meaning every person with disability will be an active and contributing to society. And sport was the tool, was the vehicle. And more than 70 years on now, I believe it's time, and we are going back to where we started, and putting sport at the service of 1.2 billion persons with disability out there to make for a more inclusive world, using para-sport. There is no identity crisis. We will always be a sport organization, but a sport organization that drives change. And that's how we are positioned now, as the number one sport organization, sport movement that drives change. Of course, there's still a lot to do. We are not where we are when it comes to classification. The commercial growth brings some challenges to some of our members. And above all, we still have the majority of our membership made of organizations that don't have the right infrastructure or financial means to serve their own membership and their own athletes. So that's my primary focus for the next 4 years. How can we make the membership go to their next level? So if you have seen my manifesto, I have a top 10 priority, which I would like to share with you now. The number one priority is keep the IPC as an organization for all. This is a non-negotiable value. Every member of the International Paralympic Committee, whether a National Paralympic Committee, an international federation, an IOSD or regional organization, and including the network of athletes, they must feel that the IPC is there for them on a daily basis, that they can proactively reach out to us and we will be a partner in facing their challenges, in taking their to the next level of development. But they will also know that we as IPC, again, proactively, we go after them, proposing solutions, involving them in decision-making processes, trying to understand better the challenges that they have so we can better serve them in finding solutions to make them go from A to B, meaning to go from the current level of development and service provided to their athletes to the next level. So we can have more athletes, better athletes, and then we can have a stronger Paralympic movement, not only in a few nations, not only in a few sports, and in some parts of the world. So we can have a collective, stronger Paralympic movement. That's my number one priority here, and it's non-negotiable. The IPC is and will remain organization for all. Number two is implementation of the governance review. It will not be easy to change if the membership decides to approve the constitution in our General Assembly. It will require a lot of work to implement the changes, but we do believe that the changes that are being proposed now will take our organization to its own next level, to our next level of development, of transparency, of good governance, of interaction with our own membership. It's been a process of almost 4 years, but I think what we will put in front of you in the next GA is something that will reflect your views, as we have done an extensive consultation process, which is something that we will do in some other areas as well. Diversity inclusion. I think the IPC must lead by example. And it's not in our workforce, it's not only in the team in Bonn that we have to find balance between persons with and without disability, different genders, different ethnicity, diversity in general, but also in our decision-making process, decision-making bodies. So at the board level, at the committees level, we all, of course, we would like to see that also in our membership. So when we do programs, we'll create programs to develop, let's say, populations that are underrepresented and create in our movement and create pathways so that they can be part of our decision-making processes and be present in the day-to-day of our organization. But we also want athletes in the decision-making processes. I have been a very good relationship with the IPC Athletes Council in the last 4 years, and we want to improve that. We want to have an even stronger and closer relationship, not only with the Athletes Council, but with the athlete network of athletes, the global athlete network of athletes. The idea here is that we can, whenever we make a decision at the board level, that we can consult with the appropriate group of athletes, depending on the sport, on the disability, on the part of the world. That's what we want to do with this athlete network. It's built in a way that it's almost an automatic process of bringing them to the dialogue, understanding their views, and this will be part of the decision-making process of the governing board. Classification, of course, classification is something that we are not where we want. So that's why we are going in 2022 to start a classification strategic review. So it's not like only the code review now. The code now is kind of the regulation, the legal framework. We have to answer questions like, are we classifying athletes at the right opportunities during competitions? Can we do it online? How can we better explain the classification process to the athletes, to the media, to the outside world? How we can make everyone in this in our movement to really trust the classification processes? How can we involve athletes, involve the membership when changes are going to be made in the specific classification systems of the specific sports? So some of these are just some of the questions that we would like to to see answered by the strategic review. But the main one is how and where we would like to see classification in 10 years' time and how to get there. So this is what we will launch in 2022. The Paralympic Games. Paralympic Games is our main product, is the driver of our movement. And I do believe that the future of sport lies in the intersection between purpose and entertainment. So it must be exciting. We must build an exciting sport program. And we must build an exciting product to people outside of our movement, to broadcasters, to spectators all over the world, to ourselves, part of the Paralympic movement. So we would need to work with the national Paralympic committees, develop them so they can bring more and better prepared athletes. We need to work with the IFs when it comes to sport presentation, scheduling. We need to work with broadcasting. We need to work with the broadcasters themselves. So how we can better present our sport or different sports in the Paralympic movement to the world. We have very good opportunities here with Paris, LA, Brisbane in the summer, and Milano Cortina and the games in 2030. So we must carefully plan what will be the legacy that we want from each of these games editions in their nations, in their regions, but at a global level as well. In the winter side, there's still room for growth. We need to really shake things up when it comes to the winter and make the sport program more attractive, the event program more attractive, more broadcaster friendly, and to make it a little bit more exciting. So there is room for growth, but what we need to do is to change our regulations so that we can make this growth happen. But always positioning both the winter and summer as the #1 sport event in the world, driving change. That's our difference. That's what Sir Ludwig Goodman understood more than 70 years ago, that this sport is the hook, but our difference is that we change the world through Paralympic sport. The partnership with the IOC and the Olympic movement. I believe we have the best relationship ever with the International Olympic Committee, but we need now to cascade this down to the regional level, to the national level, and have this partnership between Olympic and Paralympic movements. I'm very well positioned to do that. I'm a member of many commissions in the IOC. I'm very close to the IOC leadership, and we have been enjoying a very fruitful and very good and close cooperation. So this is what we want to do in the next 4 years to really help you, the membership, to partner with the Olympic movement in your nation, in your region, in your sport. Human rights. Many people ask me, well, why are we getting involved in human rights? So it's not only the right thing to do for the 1.2 billion persons with disability to use sport to make the world a more inclusive place, but to serve 1.2 billion persons with disability, remember that Paralympic Games is the only global event on the planet that put persons with disabilities center stage. So we do have a responsibility, but also it's a way to benefit the membership by partnering with organizations outside the world of sport that can provide resources, that can provide support, that can help the members to go, again, to their next level of development. This is what I want to do with the IPC. And when it comes to my leadership style, it will always be, as you know me, I'm passionate, I'm open, I'm democratic. I really enjoy the dialogue. I really enjoy being with the membership. Most probably, I'm the person who knows better the membership as a whole in our movement. That's why I think I can lead this organization to benefit the membership, to benefit the athletes. So that's why I'm humbly asking for your vote on the next 12th of December to make me once again IPC president, which so far has been the biggest honor of my life. Thank you very much.